Lasha, and our Prime Minister, Stephen Kearney, who won the election over Polyev, and Justin Trudeau resigned and is now dating Katy Perry. Good for him! Russell Brand lost out. But no, Russell Brand didn't lose out. He has children and a wife, and maybe he really wanted to leave the Hollywood environment. Without further ado, our Prime Minister, Stephen Kearney, who used to be on the board of directors at the London Bank in England. I'm not saying anything else. Let's see what he has to say.
He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists.
Just a minute. I'm getting my podcast in. So you can hear this, and I'm not walking around with my phone.
The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true. And its fragility comes from the same source. Countries to take their signs down. For decades. For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order. We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals, and we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture,
No, we
not a
don't want
transition.
you to be direct.
Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration.
You
But more
think?
recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination. The multilateral institutions on which the middle powers have relied, the WTO, the UN, the COP, the architecture, the very architecture of collective problem solving are under threat. And as a result, many countries are drawing the same conclusions, that they must develop greater strategic autonomy in energy, food, critical minerals, in finance and supply chains. And this impulse is understandable. A country that can't feed itself, fuel itself, or defend itself has few
I underestimated Steve Kearney.
options. When the rules no longer protect you, you must protect yourself. But let's be clear-eyed about where this leads. A world of fortresses will be poorer, more fragile, and less sustainable. And there's another truth. If great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests, the gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate.
What does that
Hegemons
mean?
cannot continually monetize their relationships. Allies will diversify to hedge against uncertainty. They'll buy insurance, increase options.
I'll break it down
in order to
after.
rebuild sovereignty. Sovereignty that was once grounded in rules but will increasingly be anchored in the ability to withstand pressure.
Hi, AKA. Oh, come on. Sorry, everybody. It's a commercial. It's a live stream, and Steve Kearney is our new Prime Minister, and he took over for Justin Trudeau, and there were 3 candidates, and I can't remember the 3rd candidate, but it really boiled down between Steve Kearney and Paul Poilievre. I do not trust him as far as I could throw him. I think I misjudged Steve Kearney because I was concerned about him being involved with the royal family and nefarious activities, because people that get into, or they work their way up diligently in an obtuse manner, takes a lot of confidence to do what he's doing, borderline psychopath. But psychopathy is useful as long as it's not, Jeffrey Dahmer, okay? All right, without further ado, I hope this commercial, it's a YouTube commercial.
Do I need to worry about the dark web? Should I have clicked that link? How would I know if my identity was stolen?
I don't even know what the dark web
online
is.
Security. Get identity and device protection with TELUS Online Security.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no! That is so... You know what? Commercials are more annoying than my screaming. I don't care about Domino's. It's not making me crave pizza, I'll tell you that much. I don't even know what we're eating anymore. Here we go.
This is classic risk management. Risk management comes at a price.
Oh,
But that
hello,
cost,
AKA
the strategic autonomy of sovereignty can
Mark
also be
Kearney.
shared. Collective investments in resilience are cheaper than everyone building their own fortresses. Shared standards reduce fragmentation.
Oh, maybe it is Steve Kearney. Sorry.
And the question
It's
for middle
Steve
powers
Kearney,
like Canada is
not
not whether
Mike Kearney. What a
to adapt to
Canadian
the
I
new
am,
reality
eh?
we must. The question is whether we adapt by simply building higher walls or whether we can do something more ambitious.
Hello.
Now, Canada was
HNA
amongst
AK.
the first to hear the wake-up call, leading us to fundamentally shift our strategic posture.
I'm not sure.
Canadians know that our old, comfortable assumptions that our geography and alliance memberships automatically conferred prosperity and security, that assumption is no longer valid.
Thanks to Trump.
And our new approach rests on what Alexander Stubb, President of Finland, has termed value-based realism. Or to put another way, we aim to be both principled and pragmatic. Principled in our commitment to fundamental values, sovereignty, territorial integrity, the prohibition of the use of force except when consistent with the UN Charter, and respect for human rights. And pragmatic in recognizing that progress is often incremental, that interests diverge, that not every partner will share all of our values. So we're engaging broadly, strategically with open eyes. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be. We are calibrating our relationships so their depth reflects our values. And we're prioritizing broad engagement to maximize our influence. Given the fluidity of the world at the moment, the risks that this poses, and the stakes for what comes next. And we are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength. We are building that strength at home. Since my government took office, we have cut taxes on incomes, on capital gains, and business investment. We have removed all federal barriers to interprovincial trade. We are fast-tracking $8 trillion of investments in energy, AI, critical minerals, new trade corridors, and beyond. We're doubling our defense spending by the end of this decade, and we're doing so in ways that build our domestic industries. And we are rapidly diversifying abroad. We've agreed a comprehensive strategic partnership with the EU, including joining SAFE, the European Defence Procurement Arrangements. We have signed 12 other trade and security deals on 4 continents in 6 months. The past few days, we've concluded new strategic partnerships with China and Qatar. We're negotiating free trade pacts with India, ASEAN, Thailand, Philippines, and Mercosur. We're doing something else. To help solve global problems, we're pursuing variable geometry. In other words, different coalitions for different issues based on common values and interests. So in Ukraine, we're a core member of the Coalition of the Willing and one of the largest per capita contributors to its defense and security. On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering. So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic-Baltic 8, to further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground, boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic. On plurilateral trade, we're championing efforts to build a bridge between the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the European Union, which would create a new trading bloc of 1.5 billion people. On critical minerals, we're forming buyers' clubs anchored in the G7 so that the world can diversify away from concentrated supply. And on AI, we're cooperating with like-minded democracies to ensure that we won't ultimately be forced to choose between hegemons and hyperscalers. This is not naive multilateralism, nor is it relying on their institutions. It's building coalitions that work, issues by issue, with partners who share enough common ground to act together. In some cases, this will be the vast majority of nations. What it's doing is creating a dense web of connections across trade, investment, culture, on which we can draw for future challenges and opportunities. Argue the middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu.
I like that. If we're not
But
on
I'm
the
also saying
table,
that great
we're
powers-
on the menu.
Great powers can afford for now to go it alone. They have the market size, the military capacity, and the leverage to dictate terms. Middle powers do not. But when we only negotiate bilaterally with a hegemon, we negotiate from weakness. We accept what's offered. We compete with each other to be the most accommodating. This is not sovereignty. It's the performance of sovereignty while accepting subordination. In a world of great power rivalry, the countries in between have a choice. Compete with each other for favor, or to combine to create a third path with impact. We shouldn't allow the rise of hard power to blind us to the fact that the power of legitimacy, integrity, and rules will remain strong if we choose to wield them together. Which brings me back to habit. What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? First, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised. Call it what it is, a system of intensifying great power rivalry where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion. It means acting consistently, applying the same standards to allies and rivals. When middle powers criticize economic intimidation from one direction but stay silent when it comes from another, we are keeping the sign in the window. It means building what we claim to believe in. Rather than waiting for the old order to be restored, it means creating institutions and agreements that function as described. And it means reducing the leverage that enables coercion. That's building a strong domestic economy. It should be every government's immediate priority. And diversification internationally is not just economic prudence, it's a material foundation for honest foreign policy. Because countries earn the right to principled stands by reducing their vulnerability to retaliation. So Canada. Canada has what the world wants. We are an energy superpower. We hold vast reserves of critical minerals. We have the most educated population in the world. Our pension funds are amongst the world's largest and most sophisticated investors. In other words, we have capital, talent. We also have a government with immense fiscal capacity to act decisively. And we have the values to which many others aspire. Canada is a pluralistic society that works. Our public square is loud, diverse, and free. Canadians remain committed to sustainability. We are a stable and reliable partner in a world that is anything but. A partner that builds and values relationships for the long term.
I agree.
We have something else. We have a recognition of what's happening and a determination to act accordingly. We understand that this rupture calls for more than adaptation. It calls for honesty about the world as it is. We are taking the sign out of the window. We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy. But we believe that from the fracture, we can build something bigger, better, stronger, more just. This is the task of the middle powers. The countries that have the most to lose from a world of fortresses and have most to gain from genuine cooperation. The powerful have their power. But we have something too. The capacity to stop pretending, to name reality, to build our strength at home, and to act together.
Yes.
That is Canada's path.
Yes.
We choose it openly and confidently, and it is a path wide open to any country willing to take it with us.
I
Thank you very much.
misjudged him.
Look, the time is here. It's 2026, and everybody talks about having a new year and a new life. What do most people do? They
Be quiet.
This is my favorite dentist.
Be quiet, Tony Robbins. I don't care. You've been talking about the same shite your whole life, and those Oprah days are over. All right. Now, that's the Canadian Prime Minister. Now I want you to look at the U.S. President. Donald Trump's latest speech in 2026.
Okay, here are some videos.
He's such an asshole. Oh, not Tony Blair. You know, Tony Blair, oh my gosh, you know what? If I have to explain the history of Tony Blair and President Bush and 9/11 and Iraq and Saddam Hussein, I'm going to poke my eye out. Where's Donald Trump? Okay, I have good YouTube video etiquette. All right, where's Trump? Where is he? I liked it. Hang on. All right. Now, well, how do I, okay, wait.
We'll soon be averaging less than $2 a gallon. In many places, it's already down even lower, $1.95 a gallon. Numerous states are at $1.99, numbers that nobody has heard for years.
He's lying.
Actually, since my last administration, we got it down to around those numbers. I've signed an order
We have
directing and
3
approval
more
of
years
many new
of this
nuclear
buffoon.
reactors. We're going heavy into nuclear. I was not a big fan because I didn't like the risk, the danger, but they have the progress they've made with nuclear is unbelievable, and the safety progress they've made is
Me
incredible.
too.
We're
Me
very much
too.
into
I
the world
dislike
of
him
nuclear
too. I
energy.
think he's done nothing.
And we can have it now at good prices and very, very safe.
Oh, listen to his
And we're
voice.
leading
He's
the
like
world
monotone.
in AI
When he
by a
tries
lot.
to act
Leading
presidential,
China by
you
a
don't
lot.
act
The presidency
presidential. You
respects
take
what
on
we've
the
done, in
role
part
and you do
because
the
I've
job.
allowed
He's
these
an
big
asshole.
companies building these massive buildings to build their own electric capacity. They're building their own power plants, which when added up is more than any country anywhere in the world is doing. I read recently an article in the Wall Street Journal that China's creating so much energy, and they are, I gotta hand it to them, but we're creating as much or more, and we're letting them do that. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. I said, you can't create this much energy. We needed more than
You're a
double the
liar.
energy
It was
currently in the
idea.
country just to take care of the AI plants. And I said, we can't do that. We
shut
have an old grid
up.
system. And I came up with the idea, you people are brilliant, you have a lot of money. Let's see what you can do. You can build your own electric generating plants.
I couldn't
And
find
they looked
the
at me, they didn't
converter
believe me. All of
because
the
it's in my
names that
hand.
are, I think in the room right now, if you want to know the truth. They didn't believe it. And I said, no, you can't. They came back. You'll end. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017. And it's not the current chancellor's fault. He's solving the problem. He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from
Yes,
resources that it did in
Hi,
1990.
T-Bird.
One
Hey,
third.
T-Bird.
And they're
I was
sitting
just
on top of the
comparing
North Sea, one of the greatest
Stephen
reserves
Kearney
anywhere in the world,
to Donald Trump.
but they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. When you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they
Shut up.
don't let them drill.
No. No. No more. Donald, no more. No more. No more. No more. Uh-oh, what did I do? Hello, T-Bird. Good Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Trump is a goof. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I don't like to say mean things about people, but he lies. T-Bird, I might be wrong, but isn't everything really expensive right now? Because I know the tariffs that Donald Trump has put on Canada. Steve Kearney is very smart. And Steve Kearney won't put up with any BS from Trump. That man has normalized the worst aspects of human behavior. And I just want all of you, Mark Kearney, or is it, I can't remember, President Kearney. That's all I want to say. I just wanted to share. And it's something to chew on. And for those of you that missed the entire live, it's fine, because guess what? My lives are my videos. And so I do lives, I conduct lives and shorts, and that's it. Thank you for all of you. Prime Minister, yes. And I want to thank, my eyes are bad, but it's I can see the J. I can see T-Bird because I recognize the icon. Thank you. The gentleman, our mistress above. Hank. And for AK333. Hello, my darling. Okay, I am off. It's 8:30. I'm doing some research tonight on Eyes Wide Shut, more, because I'm conducting a live about that before Trevor and I do our karaoke Fridays. And we've been working on our singing because the last time we both sang, we sounded like screaming cats. T-Bird, can you reassure Manny that I'm going to send her $50 Amazon card? I don't have a car. My scooter got stolen. I'm just having a hard time getting to the store to buy it. Manna won't let you down. For all of you that have liked, subscribed, participated, God bless you. And I will, I've unwrapped a lot today, and that is a wrap. I'm wrapping up the channel's daily work. And I adore all of you, and thank you for participating in this channel, because, and it sounds so stupid when people say this, especially when they're, making millions of dollars. But do you know what? I don't monetize on this channel yet. And I love all y'all. And I've been doing this for 3 years on March the 23rd. Most people have reached their plaque by now, but not me. As my mother said, you're like a turtle crossing the road. A little slow behind the 8 ball, but I'll catch up. I think with a big platform on YouTube, there's a huge responsibility. I really believe that, because I find the human race is so lost, and people are becoming destitute financially, spiritually, educationally. So the larger the platform, the more responsibility. And I can promise you that if you subscribe to this channel, and you don't have to, it's up to you. The people that are going to subscribe are going to subscribe. I can't change that. I don't have power over anybody, and I don't want to. And that's the difference. Just chew on that for a while if you want to. And roam if you want to. Roam around the world. And there's so much to watch. How do you choose? But I can promise you one thing. I do not lie. I do not lie. I'll never lie to you. Even if what I think is true isn't true and I believe it, to that person it's not a lie. However, I'll never lie. I'll always have your back. I'll always stick to facts. I'm a little late with the Amazon tickets, I know, but I appreciate all of you, and I know you appreciate me. It's a two-way street. So thank you, and have a great, tomorrow would be Thursday, January the 22nd. Have a great night, everybody, and that is a wrap. I just wanted to compare Donald Trump with our Prime Minister Kearney. Thank you so much, Hank. Okay, bye now. That's